Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Chapter 21, The Hatter Tries to Explain. The Dormouse came and sat next to Alice. As Alice began to grow, she thought she should leave the courtroom, but she was curious about the trial. So she decided to stay for as long as there was room for her.
I wish you wouldn't squeeze me like that,
the Dormouse complained to Alice.
I can hardly breathe,
The Griffin said.
I can't help it.
Alice said.
I'm growing. Well, you have no right to grow hair,
the Dormouse said. His comment annoyed Alice.
Don't talk nonsense. You know that you're growing too,
she said.
Yes, but he doesn't do it all at once,
the Griffin said. The Dormouse and he got up and sat on the other side of the courtroom. Meanwhile, the Queen kept staring at the Hatter. She waved to one of the soldiers. "Bring me the list of the singers in the last concert," she said. When the Hatter heard this, he started to shake again.
"Tell us your story right now,"
the King said angrily.
"or I'll have you put to death."
I'm a poor man, Your Majesty.
The Hatter spoke in a shaky voice.
I just sat down for tea, and then there was the twinkling of tea, and...
"The twinkling of what?"
the King asked.
It began with the tea.
The Hatter replied.
"Of course. The word twinkling begins with a T. I'm not stupid."
The King was growing more impatient every moment.
Go on with your story.
After the tea twinkled, the March Hare said...
"I didn't,"
the March Hare interrupted.
You did!
The Hatter insisted.
"I deny it."
The March Hare said.
"He denies it."
The King said to the Hatter.
"Leave out the March Hare and continue your story."
Alice looked at the jury box. All the jurors crossed out "I deny it" on their slates.
Those two guinea pigs have made a real mess of their slates,
she thought.
Well, then the Dormouse said...
The Hatter looked anxiously at the Dormouse, expecting him to deny everything too. But the Dormouse was fast asleep.
After that,
the Hatter said,
I had more bread and butter.
But what did the Dormouse say?
One guinea pig asked.
I really can't remember,
the Hatter said.
You must remember, or you'll be put to death,
the King said. The Hatter dropped his teacup and his bread and butter. He went down on one knee in front of the King.
I'm a poor man, Your Majesty,
he repeated.
You're a very poor speaker,
the King said.
Woohoo!
Here the second guinea pig cheered. A soldier immediately took it away.
If that's all you know, you may leave,
the King said to the Hatter. And here the other guinea pig cheered and was removed from the jury box.
I'd rather finish my tea first,
the Hatter said. He shot a quick look at the Queen, who was reading the list of singers.
You may go,
the King said. The Hatter rushed from the courtroom. Just take his head off outside, the Queen said to one of the soldiers. But the Hatter was out of sight before the soldier got to the doors. Alice shook her head in disbelief.
The Hatter wasn't any help at all. At this rate, we'll never find out if the Knave of Hearts is guilty,
she thought.
Call the next witness,
The king said. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Chapter 22, A Surprise Witness. People sitting near the courtroom doors began to sneeze.
I know who the next witness is,
Alice said.
It must be the Duchess's cook.
Alice was correct. The cook entered the courtroom carrying her pepper shaker.
Tell us your story,
The king commanded.
No, I refuse.
The cook crossed her arms. The king didn't know what to do. He looked at the White Rabbit for advice.
Your Majesty, you must get this witness to tell her story.
The White Rabbit said.
The Knave of Hearts is accused of stealing the Queen's tarts. This woman is a cook. She knows all about tarts.
Well, if I must, then I must,
The king said. Then he frowned at the cook for a long time. Finally, he said,
What are tarts made of?
Mostly pepper.
The cook said. Molasses, said a sleepy voice behind her. Seize that dormouse, the queen shrieked. Remove that dormouse from court! Off with his head! Off with his whiskers! For a few minutes, the whole courtroom was in confusion as the dormouse was removed. By the time everyone settled down again, the cook had disappeared.
Forget about the cook.
The king sounded relieved that he didn't have to deal with her anymore.
Really, my dear,
He whispered to the queen.
you must question the next witness. Dealing with all these people is making my head hurt.
No, it's your job, the queen said firmly. Alice watched the White Rabbit hold up his scroll of paper.
They really don't have any evidence against the Knave of Hearts yet.
She thought.
I wonder who the next witness will be.
Alice!
The White Rabbit called loudly. Alice jumped when she heard her name on the White Rabbit's scroll.
Here!
Alice leaped to her feet, forgetting how large she'd grown. She knocked over the jury box, and all the drawers tumbled out.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Alice cried. Last week, she'd knocked over a bowl of goldfish. This accident reminded her of that. She felt as if she had to put the drawers back quickly, or they'd die. The king scowled at Alice.
This trial cannot go on until the jurors are back in their proper places.
Alice began working on it. But then she realized she'd put a lizard in upside down. She put the creature right side up.
Putting the jurors back is actually very silly.
Alice thought.
None of these creatures will be much help at this trial.
The jurors' slates were found and returned to them. They all began to write about the accident, all except the lizard, who stared at the ceiling.
What do you know about this tart business?
The king asked Alice.
Nothing.
Alice replied.
Nothing at all?
The king asked.
Nothing at all.
She repeated. For a few minutes, the jurors kept writing on their slates. The king wrote in a notebook. Suddenly, he called out.
Silence!
Even though no one was talking. He read aloud from his notebook.
Rule 42. All people more than a mile high must leave the courtroom.
Everyone stared at Alice.
I'm not a mile high.
Yes, you are.
The king said. Almost 2 miles high, the queen added.
Well, I'm not leaving.
Alice said.
Besides, that's not a real rule. You just made it up.
It's the oldest rule in the book,
The king said.
Then it should be Rule 1.
Alice replied. The king shook with anger.
Ah! Jury, what is your verdict?